Alright, let's go over this problem. To graph this quadratic equation in standard form, I know it's in standard form because I see it's in descending ax squared plus bx plus c. I recognize that my a value is -2. My b value is +8. And my c value is +7. I need the a, b, and c so I can find out the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is x equals -b over 2a, and recognize how that negative sign is in line with the fraction line. And you'll notice that I like to simplify by leaving that negative sign to the very end, because that gives students a lot of troubles. When I do my substitutions, I'm going to put them in parentheses. So my b value is 8. And my a value is -2. So here I have 2 times -2, which is -4. And 8 divided by -4 is -2. Okay, notice I'm using my finger to cover up that negative sign. And now I'm going to bring that negative sign down to make that obvious. I'm going to use red. So here I have the opposite of a -2, which is x is equal to +2. Raise your hand if you got +2. Okay, remember, if you're stuck on simplifying, again, use the strategy I did of covering up that negative sign and also using your calculator. Okay. The next thing I need to do is find my vertex. So all I have to do is copy this in function notation. So I'm going to copy that. F of x equals -2x squared plus 8x plus 7. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to replace every x value, put that in green, with a value of 2. So I have f of now 2 equals -2 times 2. Notice again the substitution I'm putting in parentheses. So squared plus 8 times 2 plus 7. So I have f of 2. Here, don't be tempted to multiply. Order of operations, PEMDAS says to use exponents first. So this would be 2 squared, which is 4. 8 times 2 is 16. I have 7 there. So this will become -2 times 4, which is a -8 plus 16 plus 7. And I'll just go left to right using addition and subtraction. -8 plus 16 is a +8. And +8 plus 7 gives me 15. F of 2 equals 15. This is function notation. What's inside the parentheses is an x. This value out here is a y. So my order pair is 2, 15. So what we're doing here is we're getting kind of like 4 hints to help us graph that quadratic equation. The next thing I need to do is focus on where the graph opens. Well, for the graph to open, I need to focus on what letter? The a value. Since the a value here is negative, this tells me that the graph opens down. Just think of it, if you're a negative person, you kind of smile down, right? So it's going to open down. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is figure out the y-intercept. And my y-intercept is how much? 7. So it's just really there. My y-intercept is now equal to the c value, which means it is 7. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's go ahead and make a graph. So we've been practicing making graphs now with using just the coordinate plane, but I'm not drawing tick marks. This is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate. And I'm going to go through my 4 clues, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to put those on my graph, and it's going to help us. Okay, first one I'm going to do is the axis of symmetry. So AOS, axis or line of symmetry is x is equal to 2. So if I start at the origin, this is my x, so that means I have to go left or right. I can't go up or down because that's the y axis. X is equal to 2, that means it's positive, so I'm going to go to the right. You can write there x equals 2. And here I'm going to go ahead and draw a line, axis of symmetry. And I put a check mark up here to let me know that I have done that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is the vertex. The vertex has an order pair 2, 15. So from the origin, I'm going to go 2 on the x-axis, so that's going right 2. 15 on the y-axis, it's positive, so I'm going to go up. And arbitrarily, I'm just going to put it something like right there. Vertex, that is the order pair 2, 15. Now you'll notice that you're doing that right, is that the vertex is where? It's always on the axis of symmetry, always. Remember that axis of symmetry is just a line that you fold. Let's go ahead and put down my third clue, the y-intercept of 7. Well, it's on the y-axis, that's what it means y-intercept. So if this over here, think about this, if this is 2 and this is 15, you can put 15 there if that helps. Okay, and I need a 7, that just means anything lower than 15. So I'll just put it here. Put a check mark by it. And the last thing is I'm going to open down now. Now this is where the students have confusion. Remember, this is not slope-intercept form. It doesn't start at 7. That's wrong. That was the #1 mistake from last year's quiz and test. We always start at the vertex. Class, where do you start? The vertex. So think about this. I just need to draw something where it actually goes through the pink. Okay? Now I want to show you guys something. We haven't done this before, so just watch. I'm only going to graph this side. I'm just going to aim, and I'm going to go through the y-intercept. I'm only graphing one side, and I'll show you the second y. Make sure it goes through the x-axis. I'll make it curved there. And I want to show you what the axis of symmetry is. Okay? So if I fold my paper on the green line, do my best, and you can barely see that line. Do you see it? So I'm going to take a pen now and go through that. Okay. And if I open up the fold, I see my line. Do you see it? And now they're symmetrical. I've visually shown you what the line, axis or line of symmetry does. You actually fold the parabola in half. They're equal there. Okay. So I got a graph opening down, y-intercept of 7. My vertex is always on the axis of symmetry. And this point, is it a minimum or a maximum? That is a maximum. So they can ask you a question, what is the order pair of a maximum? What is the y-intercept? What is the equation for the line of symmetry? That would be x equals 2.